Hey, Butler, what's going on?
Hey, hey, hey. Not too bad.
What are you up to?
Um, just came back from dinner actually. Yourself?
Give me a sec. You say you just came back from dinner?
Yep.
I just had my breakfast with coffee. Well, I'm drinking coffee now, so
Right, right, right.
interesting. Oh, I think we have AI down there. Yes, this little snake.
AI.
Yeah, you know who AI is, right? He's a community member. I think he's behind the snakes, whatever this is. Snakes,
All
snakes
right.
on it on a chain. Let's see. I'll invite him to speak. We didn't have any. I couldn't get confirmation from some of the people I DM'd, so I. Mm,
There's
this.
quite a few things that we can cover actually today. There's quite a fair bit of developments in the space that we are
Yeah.
involved as well.
Yeah, so I was thinking that I decided that I was like, all right, we just don't have guests because I think we have enough to talk about.
Yep.
Wonderful, wonderful. Yo, Snakes, if you I sent you a request. I don't know what's going on, but if you want to come up, feel free. I was kind of excited. So like the Brava collaboration, right? That's did you guys like send them designs that you wanted and then they're gonna get it printed, or how does that part work?
Yep. So it's kind of like a very common marketplace that it's implemented in real life for a very long time. I mean, if you have heard um, of marketplaces like Redbubble or Society 6, so it's a place whereby artists actually can post or rather submit their artwork onto those platforms, and then those platforms will actually help to reproduce those artwork onto various merchandises that they are kind of like selling on the marketplace, and at the price that is actually dictated by the marketplace, and the artists actually get about it depends. I mean, essentially the artists get a royalty from the use of their artwork on those merchandises sold on those marketplaces. So I think Brava is using that kind of business model, and I believe Nighthawk, who is behind this whole Brava enterprise, she did see that there isn't any uh, kind of like projects providing that kind of services to the Cardano community, and she did see that there is a value to it,
Mm,
um, and that's how she kind of like started off Brava. So
I
I
see.
think right now it's all about implementation, getting projects onto a marketplace known as Brava, and for us to actually upload our artwork or collection, for interested people or gamers or holders to actually buy and to wear it on a day-to-day basis proudly of the project that are supporting. So I think back then last year I mean, for Regis ourselves, we were actually exploring doing this with either Redbubble or Society 6 as well. So we were actually experimenting some of the artwork that we uploaded onto the space. But I think the last year was just a very busy year because we were just toggling between our in real life fiat work as well as developing on the Cardano space. So we kind of put it on our back burner. So
Mm,
we kind of like wanted to revisit it sometime this year. It was actually kind of briefly discussed earlier this year, but there wasn't a really definite roadmap. So when Brava reached out to us, we just felt that no, well, it's just all about timing, right? So since there is an existing product that is starting on the in the space, why not just lend our support, to a fellow project founder who is trying to bring some new utility into the space. So that's where we thought, it wouldn't be rocket science for us to just say yes. So we decided to partake, and so here we are. So I think with this collaboration with Brava, we would need to kind of like provide on a very regular basis designs so that the wider community can actually choose to purchase some of the designs that they might find is in tune with their style, in tune with the season, or in tune with the type of veggies that they're holding, right? So that would actually help to provide some data points for Brava to see, which designs are more welcomed, are more kind of like favored by the community who really are invested in veggies, and to purchase a merchandise of veggies printed on it, to wear on a day-to-day basis. So that will actually eventually kind of like be curated into a more permanent collection sometime next year. So so I think we are very excited that this collaboration with Brava actually did kick off. And I think we were in their Brava Bash just
I
yesterday.
think that was
Yeah,
two
it
days
was
ago,
just
right?
yesterday.
Or
Yeah,
yesterday.
it was just yesterday. So it was on Friday 1
Mm-hmm.
a.m. UTC. So we were on the Brava Bash, and it was quite an interesting one because we were the only project that was announced during that 90-minute slot with Brava. So, and I think it kind of garnered a little bit of attention on us again. So yeah, and I think with this, they also did announce their affiliate program. So if anybody who is very commercial savvy in today's marketing world, you kind of like have heard of affiliate programs, right? So you can actually help to promote a product using kind of like minimal skill set or minimal effort, and whenever somebody does successfully do a transaction by clicking onto your link that you have actually posted on, you will kind of like get some form of commission as well. So they have also launched the affiliate program together with during the announcement with our partnership on yesterday's bash on their Twitter space. So I think that itself would also give a bit more utility to our holders. So
Nice.
uh, yeah. So and I think that kind of like it's something new, and it's something refreshing as well. So other than just owning an NFT, playing Reggie Run, or doing non-custodial staking to earn Reggie coins specifically. So now, if you hold a Reggie, if you're a Reggie holder, you can actually also participate this affiliate program. So do actively post some links that is unique to you on various channels, and if there's any transactions made because of your link, you will definitely get some commission out of that. So yeah, it's definitely a win-win for everyone.
Oh, cool. So you get okay, so that's probably what I didn't fully understand yesterday when I was in the space. So we get like a link if if we're a Raggy holder, we post a link, and if people click on that, then I get like a slice of the revenue, profits, whatever that is, right?
Right.
Oh, okay, cool. That sounds amazing. All right. And
Yep.
is that like live right now, or?
No. So, Brava, it's kind of like still at the final stages of their launch. So their planned launch is sometime in early June. I think that's about 2 to 3 weeks away. Once their website is up, people will be able to actually do purchases from their website. So currently, based on what we understand, is that they are doing some final test runs, test prints, and a QC process. Thereafter, projects like ourselves, like for Crypto Regis, we will be receiving some samples with some of the designs that we have submitted to them. So we'll be taking them, we'll be checking on the quality, and to make sure that this is the kind of product that we will want to get ourselves involved in. So we are definitely going to ensure that the 29.99 US dollars that you guys are placing orders for a tee or a sweater or hoodie, of whatever cost that is tagged to it is of good value. Of course, don't be expecting cashmere or silk along that
But
line.
that's what I
So
was
it would
expecting,
definitely
man. I was expecting cashmere. I don't
awesome. Well,
know.
don't be a demanding customer.
No, no, then
So
I'm not gonna. I
yeah.
only wear cashmere. Sorry.
I'm sure. Or you could only be wearing wool from the sheep in Scotland, right? So that's where
Mm-mm.
where we are always looking at. So, but yeah, that said, we'll be receiving those samples, and we'll be doing some marketing photo shoots, some shots and things like that to really start help to promote the reggae merchandise. So, or rather, in short, we call it reggae merch. So, reggae merch is something that we will actually help to promote with Brava as well. So, you'll be definitely seeing a lot of people modeling in those reggae merch.
Mm.
Yeah. I don't think I will be one of the models. I think we were just going to pluck somebody off the street and have them model for us. So yeah, so exciting thing that we are finally doing with least amount of effort, but we really hope Rexters, our community, really will find this something new, something refreshing, because I believe quite a fair bit of us within the Rexers community wanted to have maybe a reggae hoodie or reggae sweater, or to wear on a day-to-day basis.
Mm.
So yeah, this is it.
Yeah, I would.
A dream,
Yeah.
a wish come true finally.
Finally, yeah, I would definitely sport like a raggy sweater, especially like a raggy iPhone case. But just real quick, we're gonna do like a little reset here, guys. Thanks for coming. This is the Purring Room, hosted by yours truly, Optimal Store, and you got our lovely co-host Butler Raggy, a member of the Raggy's team, as all of you already know. So thank you for coming, guys. Today's space is a bit smaller. I didn't put any guests today because we sort of wanted to keep it like Raggy centric. And yeah, it's a pretty good format. It's nice. It's small, and I think it's pretty good. I think next week I have some possible guests that we will be that I have DM'd already. So we're gonna see who comes from next week. But thanks for coming along.
Yeah. And we do see very familiar names and faces around here as well. If you're free and you really want to hop on into the space with us to have some chat, do grab the mic as well. Request a speaker, and we definitely be more than happy to have you on board and for us to have a quick cozy chat today. Yeah. I mean, since we have a few good hardcore supporters, I think we are definitely good to share some alpha as well. So yeah, and I think the first one would
Nice.
be not really a alpha, but I think everybody is kind of like going in to try would be Chain Lobby. So I think Chain Lobby um has been a very close partners with us as well, and I think our dev RSI has been working very closely with Ada DGs, the team behind Chain Lobby,
Right.
since back in the days, well, way before dinosaurs came about. So yeah.
Wait. So
So with that,
real quick about Chain Lobby. I guess everyone knows. I guess everyone here knows what it is, but it's really exciting because it's like I guess as I understand it, it's like an alternative to Discord almost. And it's more like it's not going to keep us in our bubble. I think, as I understand it, which is pretty cool. We can interact with other communities if it works
right,
as advertised. So yeah, that's why I'm so excited about it.
right. Definitely. So I think no, not that I think I mean Chain Lobbies was actually on our space just last week as well, sharing what they have done and what to expect. So that is something that we are actually all working on. So they just kind of like go live on the 17th, just a few days ago, and everybody's just rushing in to really have a first glimpse and a first peek
Yeah,
of what has been done over the past many months, and I believe it was 9 months if I'm not wrong.
and the floor price definitely
So
reflected that excitement. It was almost 2K, like the first hour.
Yeah, yeah, and I think our dev RSI is already inside. I mean, Chief is already inside, and he was actually trying to get the rest of the team in as well. So I am actually going in today and to really see how is it like, and to really set up a store
You're not in yet? Oh
and really to
man.
set up our space in it.
You're not in yet? I'm surprised. I thought you were already in there.
Well, I have a lot of conflicting schedules, so and you need to have uh lap, a laptop, right, or PC or a Mac to actually go in. I don't think I can do it using my mobile
Oh
because
yeah.
I think it's not fully Web3 enabled yet. I mean, it is enabled on Web3, but not on mobile. So yeah, so I can't really do it on the go. As you know, I'm always running all over the place. So yeah, I just needed to have a dedicated time with my MacBook to actually log in using my Nami wallet. So yeah, so I'll be doing that actually, and to really start seeing what's the hype about, and then to really help Chief to actually get something started as well, because I believe we have quite a fair bit of things that we want to do in there. So for the rest of you who are listening, if you do have a Pioneer token, and if you're already in Chain Lobby, do hop to come by our area, get yourself signed up, and then we'll invite you in once the things has been tidy up. I think Chief wants to have a very to set a very cozy space for everyone. So yeah, so it's like a Discord and a Twitter and a social platform, for everybody to mingle around. So very excited to really fully understand what it is all about actually.
Mm.
So Optimal, are you already in Chain Lobby itself? Have you already done a lot of exploration in space?
Yeah, I created the account, I think, as soon as I got airdropped the Pioneer token. And I have to re-log in right now. But I did some exploring, and it seems like it looks like I can write like a little, almost like a little blog. Because like what I found interesting is that I would do a lot of things on Twitter, right? So sometimes the format there is not. Sorry about that. Is sometimes the format is not sort of like on Twitter. It's not like blog friendly, right? But then here it says I can like write an article, so I found it interesting. I don't know. And I can
Mm.
format the letters and everything, and I can make headers, which is nice. On Twitter, I can't do that. Like I come from Reddit, and I can do all sorts of things on Reddit. I can write really long posts. I can format headers and stuff. So that's what I like about Chain Lobby, is that it's a mix of both Reddit and Twitter in that respect.
Right. Yeah. So I think that was also what was shared by the team last week. So they are not really going to release this product to compete with the existing social platforms, but more so to really complement what is already out there and what we as projects really need in the Cardano space.
Mm,
So, and I think he's actually doing this to really consolidate a lot of key features that we are using as projects on day-to-day basis, and then to really break down those barriers between the platforms. So he's kind of like creating
mm.
something for us to use. A more immersive experience, I would believe. I
Yeah,
would say. So yeah, I mean, kudos to them, and I believe it takes a lot of hard work to build something as big as
it
this. So
does.
um, hats off to
Yeah, and
them.
I'm gonna go through real quick, see what it looks like. In case you guys haven't been there already, as soon as you enter, let's say the front page here, you'll have sort of the communities you're following on the left, and then in the middle you have like it's almost like a news feed, right? So if you write an article or whatever, then it'll be here in the middle. Um, and then you have on the right, I think you have some. I think on the right there's room for like advertisements, right? Because I see here it says Meet End
Hmm.
Maker, and then at the very bottom it says Advertise on Chain Lobby. So that's what you see sort of going in the front. And then I can go in the top right and I can click on my profile. I'm signed in as Optimal Store, and it reads my ADA handle right away. So that's what I like. The downside of Twitter is that it's not connected to Cardano, right? So it's like I have to put my name in there, and It's annoying. But here they recognize my Optimal Star 8A handle, and it's just me. That's me. The only thing is that I couldn't choose Bragg King because it's not my name and people won't recognize me. So I'm still the Bragg King though. But
Yeah, yeah. So I just wonder if we could eventually do our Twitter Space equivalent over in there in Chain
oh
Lobby, right?
yeah,
Yeah. So that's something that I would definitely be toying around to see if that's a functionality that's already available in there. It'd be great to really do something different for a spin, right?
yeah. No, that would be interesting. And if I get, yeah, I could probably even simulcast it if that's a possibility, right? If they have like a chain lobby spaces or whatever, I could simulcast on both
Yeah,
platforms and see how that works. That'd be interesting.
yeah, yeah. Who knows? Who knows in the future, Chain Lobby space might even allows video um spacing, if you get what I mean. Other than just hearing our voices, our listeners or our viewers might be able to see our faces. And if that happens, I need some time to really doll up my kind of like study rooms. Otherwise, you guys will be seeing a very cluttered and a very messy space. So yeah,
I was thinking actually,
really hope that
I wanted to sort of simulcast on YouTube as well, so that in the future, when we have guests on, we can have them screen share whatever they're working on. So I think I'm actually going to make that happen
yeah.
at in maybe the next few weeks, but it'll be
Mhm.
interesting.
Yep, and I think we actually thought that it would be great if there's a platform whereby as we can do the Twitter Space equivalent, we can also like kind of like show some slides or show some
Mm.
presentations or the kind of thing to really help to animate the discussion and make it a little bit more relevant. Yeah. So RSI our dev, he's always like saying, he was wishing that Twitter Space can actually let him put up speak and show slides at the same time. It's some form of presentation because he's always about the coding and the zips and the yada and blah blah. So I was like, okay, you can become a lecturer online
Mm.
for all you want. So yeah, if Chain Lobby could do that, I think he's going to be in there forever.
Let's hope they do that. I think that's also what's good about the YouTube part. But yeah, I hope Chain Lobby does that. It seems already what they're trying to build. It seems already kind of complex. So I guess we'll have to wait a while, maybe. I don't know.
Definitely, and I believe the team is going to bring about more utility for the committee. So let's just see what they have in mind, and we just
Mm.
wait and see.
So this is like so the Chain Lobby beta or whatever, right? Or the entire company, I guess. It's not like it seems to me it's not like a regular sort of NFT project where they make an NFT drop, they raise a bunch of money, and then they start other stuff, right? It seems to me it's like I don't know. I'm not sure how they're funding this, honestly. It's interesting. Do you know anything about that? Or
Um, to be honest, I do not sure about how they are doing it, but and I also do not want to pretend that I know things that I do not.
mm,
So that's a question maybe we could actually bring them back into our space and really question them as well. So, but I believe that if they have done so far, I must believe that it is out of passion and out of the 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 want to actually deliver something within the Cardano community and really if they are not doing this out of um profit at the very onset, but at least they are doing out of passion, I believe. Yeah.
yeah. Excuse Alexa, she's speaking to me. Yeah, that sounds good. Well, that sounds like yeah, it sounds like a passion project. Give me
Yeah.
something here.
Oh, I do see Carl just joined. Is this the Carl
It is our Carl.
Our
Yeah.
moderator Carl.
Hello, hello.
Yay, finally I'm seeing Carl in
I
our
think he was here
space.
last week as well, so
Oh.
we're gonna give him a round of applause. Yay for Carl.
Oh, okay, and I do see title pen. Oh, and he left. I think he just felt
He got
insulted.
shy. He got shy.
Yeah, and we do have Panic and Masa. Hey guys, how are you guys? And we do have Young Ada and Protoman and Snakes. So guys, if you want to grab the mic and hop on into the space with us, by all means, go ahead. And like what Optimus thought always say, we don't bite, we just
Yeah.
scratch. Is that what you
Yeah, that's
always
what I
say?
always say. We only scratch, we don't bite. Yeah, assuming that scratching is less painful than biting. But yeah. But no
Yeah,
pressure. We also design these spaces so that people who are working can just sit and listen. So that's all good too. That's why I always try to get guests and stuff like that. Although today is a bit special because we do have a lot going on. So we like to just talk about raggies. And that's actually why I first started
yeah,
these spaces because I wanted to sort of have a space so that we can talk only raggies, because I go into a lot of spaces, right? And, you know, like they give me my 10 minutes, but then after that they get into all the DJ and stuff, which is fine, but I wanted a space for raggies as well. And so I think this is good for that. You know what I mean? So,
yeah. But again, Optima, I just really have to take this opportunity to thank you as well for keeping the Purring Room running on such a regular basis, and also bringing on board so many interesting guests for the past few episodes as well. So kudos to you on that. And I think a lot of people kind of like they have spoken to, they kind of like our space because it's a little bit more structured. I mean, especially those with guests on board, to be able to share some of the ongoing projects that are still building and still delivering, and they've just felt that our space is very, very different from the other spaces that they have attended to, that might not be just, they might be just kind of like degenerating
mm,
at the moment. So yeah, and all thanks to you and your hard work. So thank you for that, and thank you for taking this on with us. And happy that you are in for this ride on the long run.
yep, yep.
So kind of like yeah, and I do say that we still owe all the moderators, our beloved moderators, a package, kind of like happiness package that Crafter and myself were actually preparing. So yeah, Crafter is going to pick them up from my residence over this weekend, and he will definitely be shipping them out
Ooh,
to all the five of them very, very soon. So yeah, just a little bit of token of appreciation from the team actually.
exciting. I love it. Yeah, yeah, what I find interesting, right, is when I normally hop into other spaces, throughout the week, and I'll hear about some of these projects that people are representing, right? For instance, I've been following this guy, Lua, for a while, right? And I saw, he's a humble guy, right? He doesn't speak 100% about Ikigai, but he is like a CM over there. And so, oh, one day I did hear, some backlash about the project. I was very curious as to why, right? And so, I try to get sort of projects like that maybe people misunderstand, or maybe they need a bit more visibility, and so that's sort of also the goal of this space, I guess. Because like Ikigai, I think they got some backlash for the way the art was done in the first season or whatever that was, and so I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to bring a bit of understanding as to what was going on and then what their art really is about, and so I brought them on and everybody learned a lot. And they're really a passionate community. So that's sort of why I guess I did the space as well. You connect to communities and
Yep.
stuff. Yeah.
Yep, and I think there are a lot of projects amongst us that are really starting off with good intention, and um, although they might not have the full spectrum of knowledge of what has happened in the space, in the Cardano blockchain, in the NFT area as well. Ultimately, they might have stumbled upon some issues, or they might have some challenges that they face. I mean, things happen, right? So, and of course, as a Cardano space, unfortunately, we are the most unforgiving people on planet
Ain't
Earth.
that the
So
truth?
when I mean, just look at Space Buds. I mean, when Space Bud art kind of like was flooded because of whatever that had
Mm,
happened. I mean, even such an OG project, I mean, they also had their issues. So, and I think they own up to it, and then they decided to rectify the situation. And because of that whole episode, we gotten a new set of technology,
yeah.
kind of like being able to burn your existing NFTs for something new, that kind of thing. So just imagine, had that not happened, would we be able to explore and come up with newer technologies to really further the utility of the to further the utility and the use of our technology in the blockchain, right? So, and I think um things happens, and I think and I do believe that a lot of projects are actually they really do not shy away from issues, and they really take it head on, and they really find a solution, and they along the way they might stumble upon a new invention, something new that actually is of use for the wider community, and I think that really helps. So yeah, and I
Mm,
and what you just mentioned, like what Ikigai did, I think really again also kudos to them. They didn't really shy away from the issue. They didn't say, okay, I mean that happened, just kind of like disappear and rug pull their project. I mean they didn't do that. In fact, they actually go head on. They address the situation, they address the issue, and they didn't shy away from all the funding. Then eventually, I would say good projects or projects here for the long run eventually will stay on. So I think these are the projects that I think we should associate ourselves with, right? And try to work together and come together to really band together and 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 do better and to provide more for the wider community. So yeah, and I think that also kind of like the reason why we and a few and many other project founders kind of like joined together and form CGG, right? The Cardano Gaming Guild. So I think that was kind of like the basis of the whole premise of having that guild as well. So
man,
yeah,
yeah,
and
I agree.
okay, so much for all this rattling. If no one's going to come on to ask any questions, I think we'll just continue on. And I think a little bit more updates about what cryptocurrencies are doing. So as everybody knows, our dear friend from Degen Dax, General Specific, he is a very close supporter of ours, a close friend of ours. So he has also kind of like stepped up these few days or rather weeks to actually host the fifth Cardano Gaming Festival. And we are, of course, happy to be part of the festival as well. So that festival starts today, the 20th of May. It'll be a week-long kind of like smaller satellite games and events that everybody can actually participate in. For us, we will be utilizing our weekly leaderboard starting from today from 4 p.m. UTC until the 27th of May, 4 p.m. UTC, for our Rexters or anyone, even through the free-to-play module, free-to-play option to actually be able to play Run and start accumulating your scores. And the 10 and the top 10 scorers on the leaderboard will actually be priced something addition that we have actually uh, decided
Mm,
upon. I think that would be the first three prizes would have each will walk away with a stakey Reggae NFT with some basic trades, and alongside with that would be some Reggae coins of a fixed amount, I believe, and then winners from the fourth to the 10th placing will actually get some Reggie coins as well. So
nice.
do um join this whole festival, go and do some regular run games, start accumulating points, and then we hope you'll be one of the top 10 winners on our leaderboard. And the whole game fest will actually accumulate onto the 27th of May, where there'll be a series of games, if I'm not wrong, will be hosted on the Deject Dan Deject Degen
Yep.
Duck Discord.
Legion ducks.
I'm
Quack
sorry
quack.
if that. Yeah, correct.
Real quick,
I'm
it's fine.
sorry.
Like you said, for instance, so you can actually like enter the leaderboard if you're free to play, like even for the game festival, you said?
Yeah. Actually, in fact, for most of our collaborative leaderboard events that uses our leaderboard for
Mm,
regular run, it will also include those free to play players as well. So it will be across all the various
sweet.
modes that are available on regular run.
We have Masa up here. How are you doing?
Hey,
What's up?
Masa.
Can you
Hi.
hear me okay?
Loud and
Yep,
clear.
definitely.
Yeah, I like left because I was supposed to meet my girlfriend at the train station 3 minutes ago, except 2 minutes ago I got a message saying she went like 40 minutes in the wrong direction, so I guess I'm not gonna see her.
What
Um,
you really mean is
but
you want to come up here and talk to us instead of talking to your girlfriend. So,
basically, so now I want to talk to you guys. No, I wanted to ask you about the the game though. So the Raggy run, right? How exactly do people get such high scores in that stupid freaking game? Because I can't get anywhere near anything. Like I don't know if I'm just bad or if I just don't understand.
all right.
But uh,
Let's see.
how do you play this game?
What kind of raggy do you have, or like?
I got a 0, but I think it's like even with a Raggy, um, you still have to like charge up the powers, right?
Right, right. So
And
it does
I can't even
depend.
get to that point, so.
Yeah, so I asked that because I guess it does depend on the kind of raggy you have. So like if you're in free to play mode, if you just keep refreshing the page, you'll eventually get assigned a rare raggy. And some of the rare raggies have powers like the hard fork that gives you a shield and a HUD that puts you into like an underworld where you can collect coins, and that way you can like that's one way some people have been collecting such high scores, and so you just need powers. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, 'cause like I've gotten I have noticed that like if you reroll enough, you do get ones with like decent powers.
Hmm.
Um, the problem that I always run into is so I've been playing on like my phone and it jumps on release and not on tap, and that's been like a thing that I've been getting used to.
Really?
But apart from
Hmm.
that, yeah, and apart from that, like um, I just can't get the timing of the jumping over the blocks when there's like three in a row or something. I'm just bad at infinite runners. Is
Mm.
really what it is. Um, but the for the game fest though, it's just the top, right? It's not like you know every participant gets a chance. It's much more of like be good or get out.
Sorry, what were you saying? Are you referring
So
to the
yeah, yeah,
gaming fest bot?
yeah. So for the Game Fest like leaderboard thing, was that like if you participate, you have an entry into the thing, or is it you have to be in the top 10 or whatever it said? I think.
Oh, you have to be playing Reggie Run, and you need to have the top. You need to be one of the top 10 accumulated scores.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Right.
I will
So you
probably not
can.
get in there, but I will try.
Yeah, you can play as many time as you want throughout the whole week. And if let's say, let's just assume that every time you play, you get 100 points, right? And you have played 100 times, so you get that will give you about 10,000 points. So if let's say 10,000 points earn you a spot on the top 10 leaderboard, then you get a prize from us.
Gotcha. I will
Right.
do my best.
But no worries, Master. If you are trying this for the very first few times of your life, um, guarantee you're just part of the learning curve as many of us who just started out. So when I first started playing Regular, my average score was like 20, 30-ish, and I'm always playing this.
Yeah, that's
That
like double my average. That's like double my high score.
so I'll always be playing this beside RSI our death, and he will always be laughing at me. It's like, and he'd be like, are you kidding me? Yeah, are you really that bad at games? And I was like, Yeah, I'm trying my very best already." He said, "You better get your skill set up. You better go and learn from our mods how to do it. That kind of thing." I was
I
like,
can teach you, Butler.
"Man, even my own team member is
I
shaming
can teach
me."
you, Butler. No worries. I don't know. If you want to get like a sense, Masa, of how long it would take to get a high score, the last time I did 100K, I spent about 6 hours on the laptop, and
You played 6 hours
no,
straight?
not straight. I took a water break, just one water break.
Yeah, I don't know if I I don't know if I'd be able to do that, but I want there's a part of me that wants to be able to like say that I did that. I don't know if I want to necessarily do that though, so
Yeah, optimal. If Masa's doing that, his girlfriend will leave him. So let's not wreck Sports life because of over run.
Well, listen, if you do that though, just make sure you play with my Raggy. Get that
yeah, there we
5%.
go. I'll make it work that way. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a lot of fun. I think actually Perfect Lemon is the king here because I think he actually got over 100K in less than 2 hours because he had like a superpower boost from the from I think he used a combination of the pendant trait, the hard fork, and I believe the HUD, or no, laser eyes. I'm sorry, he used the Cardano ball, the pendant, and the hard fork. Yeah, and
The
so
the
exactly, and so what happens here, right? The pendant will give you 2x your points. And when you use the Cardano ball, it rains a bunch of balls of Cardano from the sky. It rains like 100 of them. And so you can 2x the points you get from that. And then using laser eyes, you can protect yourself by smashing all the boxes. So you essentially never have to jump, ever. So he's the master.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I did remember Carl ever hosted a workshop, right? Was it on shucks, I can't remember
It was
what platform
Twitch.
was that.
Yeah.
Twitch, yes, correct. So I think Carl have some YouTube videos as well, if I'm not
Oh,
wrong,
it was Server
explaining
Error
how
that has the
to.
videos, I think. Yeah.
Oh, it was Server Error. Sorry, my bad. So I think Server Error had the YouTube videos, and I think Carl actually hosted a few live demos on Twitch. So yeah, amongst us we have many experts in Reggie, and not surprisingly, these are the few people who always top the chart. So Masa, if you want to top the chart, maybe just find a week where none of them are playing it.
There, that's secret. Oh
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, that's funny. But I really like the game. I think the first time I bought a Raggy, let's see, January 26th. Yeah, it was that. Um, I liked how addicting it was almost. I just started playing and I didn't stop for a few hours. I was terrible though. I barely got 100 with my first Raggy. It basically had no powers. It just had a collar. And but yeah, I barely got like 80 on, trying for like an hour. And then later I started buying more Raggies and then like, you know how it goes.
Yeah, yeah, I get you, and I still remember there were times when I kind of like I flew up to Scotland to be with Chief and with Crafter as well, so they'll be like spending a lot of time playing the game because I think that was actually the very beginning, one of the first few months since they released Reggae Run, so they were kind of like trying to fix some bugs and also they were always on this Reggae Run playing hours on ends as well, just to ensure that things are going right and ironing out the kinks and the
Yeah,
bugs and doing all the bug fixes and all. So yeah,
yeah, no, exciting times. I think I came at the tail end of alpha, so that's where y'all were working on all the bugs. I'm not sure if I found any, honestly. I was just there, a newbie, playing with my cat. Those were fun times. And you know what's funny is that I didn't realize that I was actually able to use all the powers in alpha. I was there just spamming the laser eyes button. I thought it was king, and then after all, after we went into beta, I was told that you could use all the powers in alpha, and I was bummed out. I didn't realize that was the case. That was funny.
Yeah, and I think it was during that alpha period, everybody kind of like found a very good combination, a set of powers that actually used to get high scores. So
Mm.
yeah, and that's where Perfect Lemon and Kiwi Cow and I think a lot of people actually shared some trade secrets and shared some their own newfound combinations. So yeah, they would say, oh, first you use this power, then after the next you use that power to complement that previous power, and then subsequently you end with this power and you get a lot of things here and there. And I was like,
Mm.
nerds, gaming nerds, no doubt. And then I was like, okay,
Yeah, and that's how those combinations were found. I think, if I remember correctly, I think probably the most powerful combination is the one Perfect Lemon found, right? The pen, the Cardano ball, and I think it was either the hard fork or the laser eyes.
yeah,
Of course, I don't think that there's a Raggy that has all those at the same time. So I think what Perfect Lemon did is he actually bought the game add-on from the marketplace. So he had a Raggy that has Cardano Ball, right? And he also, and that same Raggy also happens to have the pendant. Oh, no, 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 no. Okay, he had a Raggy with the Cardano Ball, and then he had to, I believe, buy the pendant trait and the hard fork trait from the marketplace, I believe. And then he had to use those. Something like that.
yeah. Yeah. And oh yes, the marketplace. So yes, we do have a Reggie store, Masa, just in case you do not know. So we do have a Reggie store that actually sells some of these in-game powers whereby you can actually use it during the game. And if I'm not wrong, some of the powers actually last for 3 days. There's some that last for 3 days, that last for 7 days, and then once the kind of like token has been used up, you can actually subsequently burn it to Blaze Reggie. When you burn it, Blaze that Reggie, you kind of like enter yourself into a raffle. So, very once in a while, we will actually run the raffle based on the number of offerings that has been given to Blaze Reggie. So, yeah, so that's another utility that we kind of like site created for people with those tokens
Yeah,
as
it's
well.
our,
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that. It's like a on-chain token.
Yeah.
correct.
Interesting.
It's our very own burn mechanism, right? So when you start collecting all these expired game items, because each one has a time limit, you can buy one that lasts for 24 hours, and then there's a few that last for a week and even up to 14 days, right? And so once the time limit expires and your token is no longer usable in the game, then it'll sit in your wallet useless until you can burn it, right? So you can go to our marketplace, cryptoraggies.io, and you'll see. Let me see real quick here. How do we get in here?
It's Blaze
Yeah,
Reggie, right? If I'm not
you
wrong.
can burn it to Blaze. You can sacrifice it to Blaze. So that's our burn mechanism. And then,
Yeah. So Blaze Reggie is kind of like our Supreme Reggie. Yeah. So you just burn the use tokens as a form of offering to him, and then after that you also get yourself entered into a raffle.
yeah, Blaze Raggy is basically the Raggy god in the Raggy ecosystem. So when you have game items that are expired, you simply offer it to Blaze, and then he will give you gifts in return if you've been a good boy. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if
That's a cool system. I didn't realize that you guys had like a way to just get the power-ups, because that was like not a hole in like the logic behind it all, but that was something I was actually curious
yeah,
about.
yeah,
So it's kind of cool that you put
it's a
that
way
in.
to give value to expired items, right? So if you just have like paperweights in your wallet. You can sacrifice it to Blaze, and you can get like the prizes include rag. I think up to 5,000 rag. I think, and you can also get some raggies, even rare ones, on a few occasions. And you can also get a collection of other NFTs from other projects. So the prizes vary, but it's nice.
Yep.
I don't want to like shift the topic, I guess, but I've been curious. Like, are you guys gonna put out another game, like a Raggy game, sometime in the future, or you gonna keep it to the Raggy Run for now?
Well, Master, you always ask the right questions, don't you? So yes, I think it has been quite some time since we were thinking of coming out with a second game, and I think like what we have heard from a few people from the ground, like I mean our core supporters, like some of them actually feel that Reggie Run might be a too intensive game, because you need to really to be on the leaderboard, you need to really play, invest quite a significant amount of your time and effort to actually be on the leaderboard. So I think along the way we were thinking, I mean, we were actually requested or told to, to maybe look at having a second game that is slightly less time intensive or effort intensive, but actually still be able to bring about the usage of our NFTs and still bring about some form of utility to the holders as well. So I think for the longest time ever, we were trying to figure out what kind of game, what type of game, and what sort of mechanism implementation to have. So, and again, within the Cardano space, there are so many gaming projects coming on into the space, right? And everybody have a different, bringing about a different type of gaming mechanism, a gaming kind of like a gameplay. So they can be a trading card, they can be a PvP, they can be kind of like those time, even now they call it a time-based game, right? Or some sort of puzzles and things like that. So we're really trying to figure out what we want to do. At this point in time, we're just still on the drawing board to really figure out what game do we want to actually bring about into our Regis ecosystem, right? Whereby it kind of like answers some of the wants and needs from our supporters and our holders, as well as trying to find something that is kind of like um a more kind of like hype game in a way, not a game that is not popular, but something that the current generation would find interesting to to play with. So yeah, so we're still on the drawing board. I'm trying to figure it out. If you have any idea, I mean, feel free to share. We definitely taking some feedbacks. We're still taking in some feedbacks from everyone. So we're just trying to work that out. But that said, while creating our own game is something that we would really want to do, we were also not ruling out the possibility of working with other like-minded projects to come out with a new game, gameplay or collaborative game platform, or you could say that, the kind of thing. So that said, yeah, we may be able to come up with something soon, we hope, on the collaborative side of things, but coming out with our own gaming uh, gameplay or whatever we call it, yeah, it's still something that we are still working on.
Okay, then that's interesting, kind of because I guess there's like two different routes you could take, right? One is more for catering to like the current like people that exist, the current target audience, I guess. And then the other side of it is much more of like a how do you appeal to like a wider bunch? And it's kind of interesting that you guys are thinking about like how do we meet the needs of the people now. And I'm really curious what you guys end up with, because I'm very curious, you know, what is going to resonate with the people that are out and about in the Cardano space right now.
Yeah, and I think truth to be told, there's so many new gaming projects coming out, right, in the space. So um some are fantastic, some are very I would say over the top good graphics, best graphics and everything, the gameplay is very immersive, and you just feel like you're totally playing a a, a brand new console game itself. So I think that that is something that would take a lot of development, a lot of time, a lot of resources as well. So I think we are also very cognizant of the some of these parameters that we have to deal with and work with as well. So within a lean team of three of us, and based on our knowledge of some of these platforms as well, we are also trying to see what we can actually fulfill and implement and come up with. So yeah, and I think having and being part of the Cardano Gaming Guild is actually a very good platform for us to actually consult and talk to various like-minded gaming founders and developers as well, to understand what platform would be very user-friendly. Would it be Unity? Would it be Godot? Would it be Unreal? You know, the kind of thing. Because truth be told, I mean, the three of us, we are not expert in all three of these different gaming platforms, right? And for us to really do something, it's something that we need to check in with the other developers to see what kind of resources, what kind of help, what kind of assistance that we can get if were to actually create a new game on, for example, on the Unreal platform. Yeah, so that's where all this kind of resources actually helps and complement some of the decision making as well.
Right, right. Yeah, and it's like I guess it's what's interesting is with because you guys are using Godot for the Raggy run, and I feel like Godot is really good for just uh like doing a lot of prototypes like really quickly. But I've heard Unity is a lot better if you like have a solid plan of like what you want to do and you want to go into it. Like the plugins and the libraries that already exist just make the workflow a lot easier in like the middle of the project. But if you're trying to get like just a bunch of things out or just test a bunch of ideas, Godot might be a better option, as far as I understand anyway.
Yeah, sure. Definitely. And anyway, I just noticed that RSI, our chief, is actually in the space. So yeah, some of these points for you, RSI, to take note of.
Take notes, RSI. I'm kidding. Yeah, as I also understand it, right? Godot or Godot, I don't know how to pronounce it. I think it's also more well suited for 2D games. Am I right?
Uh, well, Godot 4 is apparently really good now for like 3D games.
Wonderful.
It's I haven't touched it for 3D. I think Title Pending has, but it's like when they updated to Godot 4, like apparently they really improved just the entire system for it. So, I mean, the Godot 4 made like 3D games that I've seen so far have looked really, really good. I haven't really played any though. I don't know if there are any out that are like actually playable. So it's hard to kind of tell from like a user perspective, but they look really good. So it's just that you don't get the same like libraries and like plugins and systems that you would if you were using something like Unity or Unreal, just because it's newer, right?
Yeah. I think that's and also another criteria that our dev chief is also working on. I think minimally must meet is that the platform that we want to use to create our new game must support Web3 connection. So that is very important. So for us, we kind of like, I mean, in the Cardano space, right, in the blockchain, everybody's talking about Web3, everybody's creating for Web3 on Web3 platforms. So we kind of like try not to go back to Web2 kind of like lock-ins or integration or whatsoever. As much as possible, we are actually trying to do Web3, and so the platforms must be able to support that. And not only that, I mean, if we could stretch it, mobile wallet connection should be also be available, for what we have done for Regiran as well. So the ability for everyone to actually download on iOS or on Android to play Regiran was only possible because we actually our own Reggie Purse, right, to allow the Web3 connection, and that also allowed the mobile connection to it. So I think throughout this whole life cycle of creating Reggie Run, I've seen how it actually evolved from being playable only on the desktop or on PC or on MacBook to mobile application using a Reggie code. If any of you remember this Reggie code thing, and then slowly we kind of like phased that over to our Reggie Plus connection and and that allowed us to launch on iOS and Android. So I think with that kind of like technologies available, with that kind of things already being built and already being implemented already. So if we are going to come up with a new game, and I think this would be the kind of like the baseline that we're looking at. So yeah, and I think that baseline itself kind of like sets ourselves quite high up to achieve. But I believe if we have found the right gameplay, the right platform, and I think with what we have already have, it could be just a matter of just trying to implement things and build things up. I have to caveat to say I'm just speaking it off from a layman's perspective, because I am not a full dev. I'm not any sort of developer myself. So this is based on my kind of like limited knowledge from what I've been hearing and what I've been learning throughout this whole period of time. So yeah, I mean, definitely Chief might have his own idea, might have his own chain of thoughts, but I think yeah, if I'm not wrong, this could be something that we're looking at actually.
Sounds exciting. I totally forgot what I was gonna say. But I guess I'll piggyback off of that. I do like Raggy Purse because like it's oh, here we go, we got the chief coming up. Hello, good morning or good afternoon.
Hello.
Hey,
Hi, can you hear me?
hello.
Yep.
Yes,
Hi.
you're still alive.
Yes. I was just typing a long Twitter thread thing. I was just looking through Twitter and stuff. But I've been listening, so I've been listening in and getting a lot of tips and pointers from everyone. But first of all, Optimal, could you please help me pin my latest thread on the Twitter space? It's just something about Reggie Purse and Rag Alley and all the Web3 integration, Web3 ecosystem stuff, because I think it's quite an important concept and quite an important UX kind of thing that people need to know about. And not a lot of people know that Reggie Purse actually offers this. I was just looking through Twitter and just the last few days, DC Spark was posting about Wallet Connect, and they've got this Wallet Connect integration grant for projects to get Wallet Connect integrated into their dApps, and they can apply for the grant and get some like up to 15,000 USD from DC Spark. It's a nice idea. And then I was reading through comments under those tweets, and someone posted, I mean, a few people commented, and they were quite mind blown that Wallet Connect can actually do something like that you're using a dApp on your desktop, and then you are going to log on your phone and sign transactions on your phone wallet. They were quite blown away that this is actually possible. But I think they need to be also blown away that this was already possible almost a year ago, natively on Cardano without Wallet Connect. So I posted this thread, and I just wanted a few more eyeballs on it and people to look into it and know what we've actually built. And doesn't mean that we're not going to do Wallet Connect. I think it's still a good idea to have Wallet Connect. And given that we use basically the same technology as Wallet Connect to power Reggie Purse, it's not going to be too difficult for us to do. It might be an easy grant for us to apply for. So it might help to bolster our coffers a little bit if we work on integrating Wallet Connect into our ecosystem. It can help us get a bit more funding from maybe DC Spark. Also helps us gain a bit of attention from the general crypto crowd as well, because Wallet Connect, truth be told, it is a much more trusted brand name than Reggie Purse, isn't it? Like nobody really knows about Reggie Purse. Like we say that, you can connect to Reggie Run using Wallet Connect. Well, the whole entire Web3 is on Wallet Connect. So we potentially can open a lot of doors using that. So yeah, that's just something that I posted and wanted to get a bit more attention on. Yeah, and I was listening in when Martha was asking about future game developments and stuff, and Butler was talking about Web3 connection and all these things. Yeah, we are at the core of our project. We are a Web3 project, so we didn't start off as a gaming project. A lot of people nowadays think of CryptoRaggies as a gaming project. That is actually not entirely true. We do have the first game on Cardano that is wallet connected and NFT enabled, but we built the game as a utility for our NFTs. So we first built the NFT project, and we wanted this NFT collection to have a lot of utilities. We want to build an entire ecosystem around all these NFTs, and one of these utilities is game. So part of our plan was to actually build 3 games, and Reggae Run was the first game that we actually built. Because we came from the Web3 perspective, you can see that we focus a lot on Web3 connection and Web3 economy and things that drive the whole Web3 movement and ecosystem. So you can see that within Reggae Run as well, we never had a Web2 connection. We didn't ask people to sign up for an account. We didn't have like Google Logon. We didn't have Facebook or Discord login systems for Reggae Run, and we just jumped straight into wallet connection. So if you don't have a Cardano wallet, you can't play Reggae Run. That was how it first started. We wanted this to be a core feature to showcase Web3 and use Web3 in gaming as well. But moving on, this was almost 2 years ago. That was like definitely more than a year ago. So Reggae Run leaderboard, I think now is like week 85 or something. So it's been paying out every week to our leaderboard winners for the last 85 weeks or so. So this is definitely more than a year, almost 2 years old now. So such a long time down the line, we've also learned quite a fair bit about how this whole system, how this whole ecosystem, how this market actually works as well. So I think it is a fairly correct assessment, like a very mainstream assessment, that most of the people who are invested in NFTs and crypto are not gamers, and most of the gamers are not crypto investors. So if we solely target any one crowd, I think that is a wrong approach. When we built Reggae Run, I think our target was mainly the Web3 audience, and not so much gamers. So I think that is not entirely the right approach. And a lot of gaming projects nowadays, building on Web3, are shifting the focus onto gamers alone. And I also think that is not the right approach. I think we need to have a middle ground approach that merges the two, so that you can attract both gamers and also crypto investors. And that is what we want to do. And that is what we want our next game to be like. We have a fair few ideas. We've brainstormed a fair bit. We have built some prototype things on different platforms. So a few months ago, we actually started a project on Unity, hoping to create something that we can use to serve this purpose, to be like a middle ground between Web 2 and Web 3. We shelved that just because we were too busy on other stuff at that moment. And then we went back to the drawing board to think about new ideas and see what we can do. We kind of settled on a non 3D project. So when we worked on Unity, it was more a 3D project that we were thinking about. But now we kind of decided, okay, we should probably be focusing on the 2D project. So the next game is very likely going to be a 2D game, most likely built on Godot. We are very, very comfortable using Godot. We are fairly comfortable using Unity. But we are not experts at 3D modeling. So that's probably why we are not going to be using Unity and 3D and stuff, because that's going to add a lot of time on development just to work with something that we are not entirely comfortable with. But
real quick, Arsay, sorry, I remember Crafter. I think he posted something that he was trying to teach himself how to do like 3D modeling, and he He posted about he said it looked like a drunk cat.
He
Well,
was
he was just toying
he was
around.
experimenting with stuff back then. I think
Yeah.
he was making Reggie models, and that was when we were importing stuff into Unity to we were building up a base for the Reggie to walk around. And we took a lot of pointers from Kent. Actually, we were speaking to Kent from Block Owls about all these 3D stuff, because they are the experts in 3D modeling. So yeah, we took a lot of ideas from them and tried to do something, but that was really shelved. We just put it aside, and the code and everything is still there. So if we eventually want to go back to that, it's still possible. But I think the focus for the next project now, the next gaming project for us, the focus will be a 2D project. It's going to speed up development a lot more, and if we firmly build out our entire supporting ecosystem with all the underlying tech, we can potentially bridge the link between Web 2 and Web 3, because there is a big tech innovation that we are working on right now that we have not disclosed to anyone. And I think Butler will kill me if I talk about it here. So I'm probably not going to say anything more than that. But it is potentially going to help onboard a lot of Web 2 players onto a game without even knowing that they are playing a Web 3 game. At the same
Okay, that's about it.
at the same time, the game is actually a Web3 game. So whatever you're using in the game are NFTs. It's still going to be the same system as Reggie Run, that you're going to be playing with Reggies, and all the Reggies are NFTs. But if you're a Web2 player, you get an account. It looks like a Web2 account, but it is actually a Web3 account. Something like that. So that's all I can say about this system. But we're still building it out. But we've already got something on testnet that we can actually work on. So
Well,
yeah.
you know me. I always try to get the beans out of the jar. So I think I'll eventually get something out of Butler and you guys.
Not so easy.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think I've been
You
waffling on
guys.
a lot, but that's basically what I wanted to say about the future game development and Web 2 versus Web 3 and stuff like that. So I won't hold you back on moving the space forward. If you have other items and other things you want to talk and discuss about, feel free. My role here is mainly just as a listener, really, and I really want you and Butler to be running the space. Okay.
No, that's fine. We didn't really have like a list of prepared topics, but I have a lot of stuff like in mind. So it's become a little easier as the weeks have gone by. 'Cause I guess I realized that I already have like a lot of knowledge inside my head, so I don't need to prepare as rigorously as I used to. So yeah, I mean, today's
Yep.
pretty chill. So
Yep. And Young Ada has come up to grab the mic. So hey, Young Ada, how are
Hey,
you?
hey, how's everybody
what's up,
doing
man?
today? Sorry, I've been busy doing some things here and there around the house, but had a few minutes to break free and jump up on stage and chat with you gentlemen. Am I too late? Were y'all fixing to close it up?
No, you're not too late. I mean, as long as Butler is okay, and yeah, no, I have the whole day basically. So
Hell yeah, hell yeah. So what's the topic? How's everybody doing? Happy Saturday. What y'all got plans for the weekend? Anything fun?
Not really. So we have kind of like just launched our partnership with Brava. In my online, Cardano marketplace, whereby we'll be able to push out some Reggae merch for you guys to actually own, to wear, and to show off that you're part of the Reggae community. And of course, last week our friends from Chain Lobby did announce that they are releasing their platform on the 17th of May, which we are already on, and we are getting ourselves ready for that as well. Apart from that, to run out what we intended to actually share on today's space was actually our involvement in the Gaming Fest as well. So being hosted by DJ Dax, we are going to run the coming week's leaderboard as part of the Gaming Fest event as well. So be the top 10 scorers on this week's leaderboards running from today, 20th of May, until the 27th of May, and you'll be able to win yourself some more prizes than we usually give. So, and do take part in the finale on DGen Duck's Discord, and get yourself some slots of more NFTs and more prizes that are being dished out by all the participating projects as well. So get yourself. I hope to see all of you there on the 27th of May in the DGen Duck Discord, and get ourselves involved in some of the fun that's being planned out.
Exciting stuff, as usual. So yeah, just a little summary. Brava is a new partnership. Chain Lobby is a new platform we'll be migrating to. And the Game Fest, it's just a bunch of games, have fun, win prizes. It's gonna be fun, guys.
So can you go to Brava and get something now, or is it upcoming?
It'll
Upcoming.
be upcoming. Yep. So they're going to launch sometime in June, and we are going to work with them closely on some marketing efforts as well.
Yeah, if y'all don't feel like waiting to June, then head over to my website and get you a Cardano t-shirt now. Lots of stuff to choose from. Hopefully something that you like. And top quality stuff too. I went through the bother of looking at all these different t-shirt manufacturers and who actually makes a good shirt versus who makes something that, although you have something printed on it, you don't actually want to wear it. So it's a company called As Color. They've got really quality, material, things like that.
Right. Sure. We'll definitely check it out.
Yeah. So I've got big plans for CNFTCon. I'm really excited about that. I'm going to be partnering with two different Cardano projects for NFTLV. So one of them is Block Bones. They have a collection on Cardano as well as they have a collection on VeChain. And then another partner project is the Bone Nugs from the Foul Crowd team, Foul Crowd NFT. So really excited about that. The holders are going to have opportunity to get a discount on IRL shop there in Las Vegas. So that's always nice to bring some utility to the space. So if you are not already a holder, I suggest you go grab something, get it off the floor while it's cheap. Did I lag out? What's good?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can now.
Okay. Cool. You said oh man, I'm tripping over my words. So this whole merchandise talk is sort of it's interesting because I know my dad. He's sort of in the printing business, right? So he'll have like a bunch of these companies sort of come to him. He prints like logos for them, and then yeah, he does most of that actually for the company. So like, young Ada, are you sort of, you like send your designs to like a company to do that for you, or how does that part work?
Yeah, it goes to a third party. So, through the website, I'm able to link up to a service that allows me to upload designs and different things. And unfortunately, they only give you a front and back print. I wish that it was something where you could and on some of the stuff it lets you like print on sleeves. Kind of depends upon who the manufacturer is, but more importantly, is like I said, for me, is picking out something from a manufacturer that has a really quality base product, right? So, like I went to the CNFT Con last year, and there were 40 people, let's say, probably more than that, maybe a few less, handing out shirts, right, that they had printed and brought with them as giveaways. But you wore them one time, and that was it. It wasn't comfortable material. Most of them were really cruddy vinyl press-ons that after one wash were coming off. What I took to CNFT Con was very high quality. Like my cost, not what I sold it to someone, my cost was over $30 a shirt, right? So
I
that's,
see.
there's a big difference in something that just has somebody's logo printed on it versus, something that's like I still have my shirts from CNFT Con and I wear them all the time, like because it's a
Nice.
really high quality product. So
And when you're doing when you get like what when you get your shirts, printed, like, do you do the finger test where you sort of scratch it with your nail to see if the quality is consistent? Or...
Well, and for the things that I took out the the CNFT con, those were all screen printed, so that material holds up a lot better than anything that's going to be a print on demand or a press on, and that's
Mhm.
just inevitably the fact of the matter. So when people get things off the website, and I imagine it's going to be very similar for Brava, is that these are going to be things that are printed on something that's a heat press, type material, and they have different
Okay.
types. They have a very low quality, like I said, that basically you iron on at home. But then, like big manufacturers, they have like people that do stuff for Nike and Adidas and things like that. Like the material that they use, it's still a heat press, but it's just a much higher quality type of a material that they're pressing onto to that fabric.
Right.
And picking a
Right.
good base fabric is very important as well.
Yeah. So talking about that, for myself, I'm actually also doing some very unique pieces of Reggie's teas over here. What I do is, I'm quite sure all of you have heard of a Japanese brand called Uniqlo. So Uniqlo has this section at one of the flagship stores here where I'm staying at this moment, at this point in time, whereby they actually provide this service where you can actually send a PNG format of the graphic that you want to have it printed on the tee, and then they will actually kind of like print that design on their white t-shirt, and then they'll do some post-processing and you'll get it there and then. So the whole process was about 45 minutes end to end. So yeah, I've been trying out with some designs, and I have to say it's not it's definitely not the cheapest option, but actually the whole process kind of like puts you through one of their processes of t-shirt creating, and you get a very unique piece for yourself. So um that's something that I've been exposing myself, and this whole Brava collaboration. I'm definitely having some pieces of samples to compare with as well. So yeah, from a very branded not to say Uniqlo is a very branded brand, but a very reputable brand, and compare it to something that Brava is doing, and we'll just get to see some comparison in terms of the quality of the product as well. But
Yeah, I
I
think
think back to you.
that's smart.
Sorry.
I said I think that's smart. If it's just going to be very low run stuff, here and there, then qualities only matter so much. But if you like, if Ragni's wants that to be one of the parts of your project, is where you offer something on the merchandise side, then it might be Bravo for a few minutes, but you might find that you get enough traction that you need to move on to someone else that can provide a different quality type of. And again, I don't know what their quality is. Maybe it's fantastic, and that's exactly where you need to be. So that's the only thing I can say. But it's hard for a lot of these companies, right? Because profit margins are very minimal
Mm,
unless you get a cheap product. And so then they have to figure out what of the two is going to be cheap, or both, right? So is it either going to be the shirt that they're printing on is cheap, but they use good printing materials? So I saw that, right? I saw like um, the merch plug was at CNFTCon, and he was doing screen printing there on site, right? And the
mm,
screen printing process was very good, and that paint holds fantastic. But the material he was putting it on, you didn't want to have it on your skin, So it was a very, because they were giveaways, and that makes sense,
right.
right? So if you're just giving shit away, you want a $2 shirt. But if it's something that like you want one of your holders to have, wear, and keep it for more than a year, then at that point, it needs to be more than a $2 shirt. It's got to be something, much more high quality.
Definitely. Yep. And I think also to the second point that you brought up, Young Ada, I think you were saying about your presence at CNFT Con, and you're working with two other projects, right? maybe we could actually touch on that off space as well, because we are not very sure if you're going down for CNFTCon, and if we do, maybe we could probably circle back to see how we can actually work together for that event as well, if we eventually do head down to CNFTCon.
Yeah. So for this year, see, so when I did my merch for last year, I didn't want to go to print on demand. I wanted to go to something that was, again, quality mattered. So I reached out to a bunch of printing shops in Vegas and actually found a printing shop. So that printing shop actually does all the printing for a cannabis dispensary in Vegas. So through that connection, I was able to get a connection to that. So last year, holders of anyone that had a CNFT con pass was able to get a discount. So that kind of gave like utility IRL thing. So this year I have that same opportunity to go back to that same place. I've got two projects that are kind of, in that um, sphere, like they're potheads, I guess, if you want to call it, whatever. So that just happens to be a lot of people go to Vegas for certain reasons, and that just happens to be one of them. So my partnership this year is with those two NFT projects. So we're going to do some cross, promotion as we're getting ready to go to NFT LV. Holders are going to get a discount. So instead of it just being any pass holder for CNFT Con, it'll be, I'm trying to use Adam Dean from Buffy Bot. I'm trying to use his what does he call it? It's a token gated, system where basically he puts in different policy numbers, and then that produces a QR code that the IRL place uses to access to make sure that the coupon's valid. So, um, you know, that's kind of just promotion for, Cardano, promotion for NFTs, and doing stuff for that regard. So um, that's about it on that. I don't feel like I touched on it well enough, though. Sorry.
No worries, no worries. We definitely catch up with you separately on that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And so if y'all plan to go to Vegas this year, and if you want some stuff printed, like screen printed, there in Vegas so that you don't have to ship it and worry about all that hassle, let me know and I'll be more than glad to get you in touch with my guy there in Vegas. Super easy to work with, prices are fair, and he does really great work. So that's the most important is, he does good work, and I can definitely suggest what type of, company, like I said, As Color is the best material I was able to find. A little pricey, but man, top notch like quality. Super, super nice.
Cool. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah,
Back to you, Ultima.
Yeah, we'll do a quick reset, guys. See a few new people here. Everybody, this is the Purring Room. Thanks for coming. We have this every Saturday at 10 a.m. EST. Sometimes we bring guests. Sometimes it's chill like this where we just talk about raggies for hours on. So thank you for coming on. I'm your host, Optimus Store, mod for Crypto Raggies, and we have on stage our co-host, a team member of the Crypto Raggies. We also have on stage the chief, the lead developer, RSI. So he's sort of at the helm of Raggies with the tech side of things, and he's done a lot of great, work on that side, innovating and sort of breaking, how do you say, trailblazing? There we go. Yeah, so he's done a lot of that, and of course we have one of the biggest supporters in the Cardano ecosystem, Young Ada. He's always around here. He's always in every Discord, every space. He does his best to support everybody, and of course, we need at least 1,000 of those. So thank you, Young Ada, for always showing support for us and for everybody in the Cardano ecosystem. And yeah, so that's sort of a short rundown of Raggies. We have a game called Raggy Run. We have our very own marketplace. It's a smart contract with its own auction house. And we have many more things, including our cross-platform web wallet. So thank you for coming, guys. Welcome to the Purring Room.
Yep. And to add on, today's the start of the game fairs that Degen Ducks have volunteered to host for this edition, the fifth edition in fact. So do join in the series of games and events that have already been shared on Discord, on Twitter. And there are a lot of exciting games that a lot of gaming projects have been involved are being involved as well, and all these will be accumulated towards the 27th of May over in the Gen Dark server, whereby we'll be playing even more games, winning even more prizes, and having even lots more of fun. So do join us for a whole week of excitement and entertaining games. So do not miss this period whereby you can actually get quite a number of NFTs by just participating, and some of them are really based on luck of chance, right? Or rather a chance of luck. So you could be just walking away with NFTs or meme tokens, maybe, or a few gaming tokens. Just joining the fun, I think, and know more people and know more projects. I think that's very important as well.
So, have y'all by chance seen the video I posted yesterday about Veggie and their franchise pass? As we're kind of talking about gaming, has anybody looked at that project?
Vegiemates? No, not yet. Have you released something yet? Already?
Yeah. So I just posted it in the comments for the room. So if you go down to the comment bubble, you can look through the comments and see the video.
Right.
So I think that mint was really fun. I don't say fun, different. A lot of mints. You just kind of you get your whitelist or you don't, and then like if you do, then you just basically you get a web page that you hit. You enter how many you want to buy. You sign your transaction, and you go to Pool PM and wait to see it hit hit your wallet. Like that's it. This was different. Like I made a whole little video of me upgrading my Vegemate from level 1 to level 2. And it's a pretty neat little experience. They've got a great landing site. You verify your wallet. You pick which side, so either you're going to be a veggie or a junkie, and then it takes you through the process of picking out, which junkie or veggie you're going to burn. It's a burning process. So with Veggiemates, they have a total of 20,000 assets, and they're giving an opportunity for people to burn that all the way down to 5,000 assets, which is kind of different.
Yeah, I watched your video yesterday actually, and I'm very impressed with how Vegemates did everything. It looks great. It looks great. And that's one of the things that we really want to focus on. And if you can see how our project evolved over the time, we've been trying to move away from everything looking like a website to things that look more like a game kind of thing. We want a gamified experience throughout our whole ecosystem. And that's why we are taking such a long time to launch the next edition of our websites, because everything on the new websites will be gamified. Our entire holders area, so what we call the Reggie world, will be a gamified interface that everything will be highly skinned, highly themed to look and feel like a game. So we don't want to bring another generic web page experience, which we think defeats the purpose. And that's why we're spending a lot of time on remodeling the whole website. And one of the key things that I told Crafter, and every single time we communicate about the web design for the new web page, is I don't want this to look like a website. Like even like a pop-up message, a modal, a dialog box, you can skin it. It can still be a modal. It can still be a dialog box, but you can skin it in such a way that it looks like a game and not a web page. And that is the key thing. I don't want it to look like a web page. So look forward to it when it launches. It will be very different. The whole thing will be a gamified experience. I hope it matches your experience when it launches. I'm not sure whether it's going to be of the same quality as Vegemates, but we will do our very, very best to bring about an experience that is unique to us, unique to Reggies, which represents the brand and represents the kind of gamified experience that we want to bring about to everyone.
It's gonna be amazing. Everything you guys do is like absolutely 100% out of
Yeah, I mean,
off the
shout out to you for
charts.
all that.
Everything.
Yeah, shout out to you for all that back end work. I mean, it's a lot. So, they've been, I think they've got more than one dev, and they've been after it just to get to this point. So I understand there's a lot that goes into it. I mean, I had the same conversation with Blockhouse prior to the Jabby Z mint. Is I was like, I hope that y'all got something for us other than just a minting page, and they were like, no, we don't. And I was disappointed. Like I want to see, especially from the teams that I know really are here. They really have a value proposition to their holders. They're really like trying to hit all the right things. Like I want to see that part. Like if you've taken the time to come up with a mint, then all right, we've got the assets. How do we deliver those assets to the person that to the consumer? Because a lot of people are, oh, I bought into this project. I'm an investor. No, you're not. You're a consumer. You got something that you wanted. If it has a use case, like with Raggies, you got staking, you got a game, etc. So it's like there's a use case. So it's like I bought a product service from you, and I also would like that to be a good experience, right? So it's like, yeah, I can just go on Amazon and buy a new pair of shoes. Bling, bam, done, right? Sends to my house. One button, I signed the transaction, right? Boring. Or some people still like walking in and having someone come in and then come up to you and go, "Hi, what are you looking for? Can I help you? Let me get a couple of pair for you to try on." Like the process, the experience of doing something. So I think for these mints, we need to have something to do, and so with Veggie, I thought it was a great little, I mean, it doesn't take an hour or nothing like that, but there's a little bit of gamification there. You get to pick out that new background, you get to pick out that new music track. I think that shit's cool. It just kind of gives you something to do with your NFT a little bit. And then of course it boosts rewards. I don't know if anybody saw that dude, but like one of my veggies staked was earning like 1.3 green a day. Now that I've upgraded to a franchise pass, so I took one of one class and burnt three of another. So four NFTs now are giving me like 120 greens a day. So that's like a 10x multiplier from burning three NFTs. Now they weren't cheap NFTs; they were pretty, fairly ranked, but all the fucking same, bro. I mean, so that's cool. I like stuff like that.
Yeah, I haven't upgraded my Veggiemates yet. I've got a bunch myself, but they're still sitting there as just the original NFTs. But I'm going to look into the franchise pass at some point and going to upgrade. Is there a limit to how many franchise passes there can be?
Well, how many total there could possibly be is only 5,000.
Right,
So
I
there's
see.
there's 20,000 assets, and you've got to burn three of something else to get to that final tier. So yeah, I
Mm,
mean, hypothetically, it could be 5,000. There's only like 4% listed of each collection, so it's
mm.
not like there's a lot of them out there. And I'm not trying to pump my bag, right? Because I
How
don't
many
want to have
franchise passes have been minted so far?
over 1,000. I want to say no, that's wrong.
Oh, right.
There's been a little over 1,000 burnt, so maybe 200 or 300 franchise passes that have been created.
Okay. Yeah, so right. I'll get to it at some point. So, I've still not upgraded my space buds yet. I just keep procrastinating all these things and just keep working on Reggie stuff. But at some point I'll have to do it. I've just been looking at videos like when people wormhole their space buds and just looked at the videos, and I looked at your video as well just to have an idea of how the experience is going to be like. Because from my point of view, I'm not involved in all these things as investors. I'm not really interested in whether the SpaceBuds V2 is going to be worth more than the V1 or anything like that. Or I'm not really interested in in converting my Vegemite into franchise pass, and somehow the value grows. And I'm not really caring that much about the value of my bags, to put it simply. So
But
I
that's okay.
yeah
Me and you are cut from the same cloth because I miss out on stuff. I don't trade. Like everybody's been. Well, I won't say everybody. A lot of people have been in these meme coins. I just don't have time. Like you're
yeah
mentioning, I've been doing so many other things. Like I don't have time to do some of these things. So it's just like there's very like I'm in a lot of discords where people are like, you still haven't verified your wallet, and I'm like, and I'm not fucking going to. Like I'm just like I don't care. I bought the NFTs because I wanted to support the project. I'm done. I love y'all and I will keep retweeting your shit. But that's
yeah. I just buy stuff and hold them, and enjoy the experience. And if they've got utility, they've got something to play with, I'll do it, play with it a little bit and just have some fun. So I do want to see the experience of using stuff that other projects create, like the Vegemates being upgraded to franchise pass and all these things. The experience will be nice. But I got to see it from your video. It'll be nice to experience it myself, but there's no rush for me to actually do it. So as long as there's still a chance, it's not like all minted out, then there's no real rush that I'm feeling
no,
that
no,
I
no,
have to
no,
rush.
no, actually, there is a rush, and I hate to put it this way, and maybe you don't care, and that's okay. But if a person does care, you want to have your franchise pass sooner than later because those green rewards are going to start getting cut. So
Okay.
like, yeah. So you do need to go ahead and like for one, it was super fun, right? Like listening to the different songs, trying to figure out what I was going to name. Like I went on Chat GPT and put in a bunch of different like junk food names and got it to populate a bunch of stuff for me. So it's like that was all fun. Like it was a good time, and like 10 ADA or 500 grains, whatever. So it's super cheap. And then once you do that, then if it's non-custodial staking. So like you're staking that thing, getting those
Mhm.
rewards now before they start cutting them. I think it's smart to go ahead and go have that bit of fun if you find a few minutes this weekend.
Yeah. I think I will. I will try and do it. Maybe when I'm off the space, I'll try and have a look at it and upgrade my Vegemates.
I'm bullish on it, dude. They're building a tower defense, and these are going to be our access passes to that tower defense game. And this is going to be the thing that gives us multipliers inside of that game. So, make sure whichever side you choose, you pick your strongest ones and get the best franchise pass you can get because it's going to be if you like a tower defense or if later for some reason you felt like selling out, people are going to be looking for something like this because it's going to give them a better, it gives them a better battle pass experience because it's a better leveled junkie.
Wonderful. I've gotten into Vegemace at the moment, so I'm gonna have to check them out. But yeah, I think we're gonna close out the space here. This is a good time. Got some IRL stuff to do, exciting stuff, hopefully. So yeah, thanks everybody for coming in. Thank you, Young Ada, for always keeping the convo going and for giving good tips and ideas and for supporting the ecosystem. Thanks to RSI for always coming up and giving us, I don't know, it's great insight into stuff. I always appreciate it. And of course, to Butler, our lovely co-host, uh, always here every Saturday. So thank you very much, and for giving us, the alpha when we so desperately need it. And
Yeah.
yeah, guys. Uh, so we're gonna do a few closing remarks. Butler, do you have anything to say?
Yep, I do actually. So I was just kind of like reminded that later at 5 p.m. UTC, the lurkers will be actually running a Twitter space and they'll be talking about excuse me, I got myself choked there.
Oh,
And sorry, lurkers will be actually conducting a Twitter space at 5 p.m. UTC later today. And they'll be talking about mental health in the Cardano space. So if any of you have been really stressing out lately because of trying to deliver a fantastic Cardano projects, but you just feel sometimes you are at the thinnest of your of feeling the breakdown soon and things like that. I think that's a good Twitter Space to join in as well. We will be there as one of the panelists too. So sharing some of stories and experiences ourselves. So if you are up and if you think you want to have a listening ear or you want to hear some insights about mental health in the Cardano space, do join us at the Lurkers Twitter Space later at 5 p.m. UTC.
Exciting stuff. So yeah, do join, guys, and thank you for coming to the Purring Room. This is Optimal Store, your host. And we have our lovely co-host Butler Raggy. We host the Purring Room every Saturday at 10 a.m. EST. So join whenever you like, and I think I'm going to get some guests in for next week. So stay tuned for that. Thank you everybody for coming. Hope you have a meow-tastic day. See you next week.
See you.
Thank you everybody for joining. This is Optimal Store signing out. See you next week. Bye-bye.